The 4 illnesses to dodge if you want to see 90 and beyond. Have you ever wondered why some people enjoy vibrant health well into their 90s while others struggled decades earlier? It's not just luck or good genes. National health data reveals a startling truth. While only about 2% of Americans live beyond 90, these remarkable individuals share a common thread. They've managed to avoid 4 specific health conditions that silently rob millions of their golden years. I discovered this life-changing information after watching my own grandfather transform from a medication-dependent 75-year-old with deteriorating health to an energetic 92-year-old who still tends his garden daily and travels independently. His secret: 10 years ago he made simple but powerful changes to address these exact 4 conditions. His doctors had labeled inevitable with age. What if I told you that 83% of premature aging and health decline isn't random but directly linked to these 4 specific conditions? Even more surprising, recent population studies show that people who successfully avoid these 4 health traps are 3 times more likely to maintain their independence past 85 and 5 times more likely to report high life satisfaction in their final decades. My grandfather's story isn't unique. After sharing what I've learned with friends and family, I've collected dozens of similar transformations. Ordinary people who reverse their aging trajectory simply by understanding and addressing these 4 crucial health factors. Think about it. What if the decades-long decline many consider normal aging is actually optional? What if simple daily choices could dramatically increase your chances of not just living longer, but thriving well into your 90s? Today I'm going to reveal exactly what these 4 conditions are and the practical science-backed steps you can take to prevent them, regardless of your current age or health status. The strategies I'll share don't require expensive supplements, complicated diets, or punishing exercise regimens. They're accessible to everyone and can be integrated into even the busiest lifestyles. Before we dive in, I'm curious, what's your biggest health concern about aging? Share in the comments below, and subscribe to join thousands of others who are discovering how to add not just years their life, but vibrant life to their years. Whether you're 35 or 75, the information I'm about to share could completely transform your health future, just as it did for my grandfather and countless others who refused to accept declining health as inevitable. Type 2 diabetes. The silent life thief. Here's a shocking reality. 1 in 3 Americans over 65 has type 2 diabetes. But what's truly alarming, it's the single most preventable condition stopping people from reaching their 90s. When my uncle was diagnosed at 62, his doctor delivered the news as if it were an inevitable part of aging. "Welcome to the club," he said casually. What that doctor failed to mention was that diabetes isn't just about blood sugar. It's actively stealing years from your life while you remain completely unaware. I'll never forget watching my uncle transform after he made simple changes to his daily routine. Within just 8 months, his numbers improved so dramatically. His doctor asked what miracle drug he was taking. His secret: no drugs at all, just practical lifestyle adjustments anyone can make. Let me explain what's actually happening inside your body. Imagine your cells have tiny doors that need insulin keys to let sugar in for energy. With diabetes, these doors start to jam. Your body makes more and more keys, insulin, but they work less effectively. Meanwhile, sugar builds up in your bloodstream, silently damaging your blood vessels, nerves, and organs often years before you notice any symptoms. The truly devastating part: up to 70% of people with pre-diabetes will develop full diabetes within their lifetime, unless they intervene. But here's the empowering flip side. Making just 3 simple changes to your daily routine can reduce your risk by an astonishing 58%, better results than medication alone. You don't need complicated diets or extreme exercise. Start with the plate method. Fill half with colorful vegetables, a quarter with lean protein like chicken or beans, and a quarter with whole grains or starchy vegetables. This simple approach naturally stabilizes blood sugar without any complicated counting. Watch those liquid calories. A single flavored coffee drink can contain as much sugar as 3 donuts. My uncle switched to water with lemon, unsweetened tea, and black coffee with just a splash of milk. A change that alone dropped his blood sugar by 15 points. Movement is non-negotiable, but it doesn't have to be miserable. A 15-minute walk after meals can lower blood sugar by as much as 30% compared to sitting on the couch. Find what you enjoy: gardening, dancing, swimming, anything that gets you moving consistently. Most importantly, understand that diabetes prevention isn't about perfection. My uncle still enjoys dessert occasionally and sometimes skips his walk. The power is in what you do most days, not every day. Small, consistent changes create the protective shield your body needs. Remember, your body is designed to heal when given the right tools. Type 2 diabetes may be common, but it's far from inevitable. The choice and the power is yours. Heart disease, the clock that stops too soon. Every 36 seconds in America, a heart stops beating forever. That's one life claimed by heart disease. While you read this paragraph, the truly devastating part: up to 80% of these deaths could be prevented. My sister Linda was headed straight down this path at just 52, high blood pressure, constantly exhausted and dismissing the occasional chest pain as just stress. Then came the wake-up call. Her friend Mark, seemingly healthy at 54, collapsed in his office from a massive heart attack. She realized she might be next. What most people don't understand about heart disease is that it's not just one sudden event. It's a silent progression that builds for decades before that final, often fatal moment. Imagine your heart as an incredibly loyal pump, beating about 100,000 times every day without a single break. Now picture your blood vessels as pipes that slowly narrow over time. Your faithful heart works harder and harder to push blood through these narrowing passages until eventually it simply can't anymore. The damage occurs so gradually you might feel perfectly fine while your arteries are narrowing by 60%, 70%, even 80%, until suddenly you're not fine at all. This is what happened to Mark, and what was silently happening to Linda. After her friend's heart attack, Linda made 5 specific changes to her daily routine. Within 9 months, her blood pressure dropped from dangerous to normal. Her energy returned, and her doctor was stunned by her transformation. No extreme diets or punishing exercise regimens, just practical, sustainable changes anyone can make. First, she addressed the hidden salt in her diet. Most Americans consume double the recommended daily amount without realizing it. Restaurant soups, canned vegetables, and even breakfast cereals can be packed with sodium. Linda started reading labels and cooking more at home, flavoring foods with herbs and spices instead of salt. She embraced the power of movement, starting with just a 10-minute walk each morning. By month 3, she was walking 30 minutes daily and actually enjoying it. Her heart, that tireless, faithful servant, grew stronger with each step. Linda also prioritized sleep, ensuring 7-8 hours nightly. During deep sleep, your blood pressure naturally drops by 10 to 20%, giving your heart a crucial rest period. Without adequate sleep, your heart essentially works overtime shifts with no breaks. Perhaps most surprising was how managing stress transformed her heart health. Simple daily practices like 5 minutes of deep breathing or spending time with loved ones helped lower her blood pressure almost as effectively as medication. Remember this: your heart doesn't just keep you alive, it keeps you living. Every heart-healthy choice you make today is a gift to your future self, an investment in countless precious moments yet to come. Cancer, the enemy you can outsmart. The word cancer strikes fear into most hearts. But here's what few people realize: up to 40% of all cancer cases could be prevented entirely. When my colleague David was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer at 56, his doctor delivered a revelation that changed everything. Had you come in for screening 5 years ago when we first recommended it, we would have caught this as a precancerous polyp and removed it in minutes. Instead, David faced surgery, months of chemotherapy, and an uncertain future, all potentially avoidable. What makes cancer particularly treacherous is how it develops. Imagine your body as a vast nation of cells, each programmed to grow, divide, and die according to strict rules. Cancer begins when a single cell's DNA becomes damaged and ignores these rules, multiplying uncontrollably while avoiding the natural death that should limit its spread. As we age, our body's ability to repair this DNA damage naturally declines, making us more vulnerable to these cellular rebels. After David's recovery, we made a pact to prioritize prevention. I was stunned to discover that 1 in 3 Americans will develop cancer in their lifetime. Yet simple daily choices can dramatically shift these odds in your favor. What's more astonishing is how connected these preventive measures are. The same habits that protect against heart disease and diabetes also create a hostile environment for cancer cells. Regular screening is non-negotiable. Colonoscopies, mammograms, skin checks, and other recommended screenings don't just detect cancer. They can prevent it entirely by catching precancerous changes. My annual skin check identified a suspicious mole that, while not yet cancerous, had concerning features my dermatologist removed immediately. 15 minutes of mild discomfort potentially saved my life. Your daily food choices create either a battlefield or a breeding ground for potential cancer cells. Colorful vegetables and fruits contain natural compounds that actively suppress cancer development. I now aim for 5 different colors on my plate daily, not because I'm obsessive, but because each color represents different cancer-fighting compounds. Physical activity creates a remarkably hostile environment for cancer cells. Even moderate movement reduces inflammation, helps maintain healthy weight, and strengthens your immune system's natural cancer surveillance. After David's diagnosis, I committed to walking 30 minutes daily, a simple habit that reduces cancer risk by up to 20%. Perhaps most empowering is realizing that your body has incredible natural defenses against cancer. Every day, your immune system identifies and eliminates cells with cancerous potential. Your prevention strategy isn't about fighting against nature, but supporting your body's remarkable built-in protection systems. Don't wait for a wake-up call like David's. The choices you make today are silently shaping your cancer risk for decades to come. Dementia. When your mind betrays you. Of all the conditions that threaten our golden years, dementia is perhaps the most feared, and with good reason. It doesn't just affect memory. It gradually steals your very identity. What most people don't realize is that nearly 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or significantly delayed through lifestyle choices we make decades before symptoms appear. My mother-in-law, Elizabeth, was always the sharpest person in any room. Until she wasn't. At 72, we noticed her repeating stories, forgetting appointments, and becoming increasingly confused by simple tasks. The brilliant woman who once managed complex legal cases could no longer follow the plot of her favorite TV shows. Her diagnosis devastated our family, but her neurologist shared something that transformed our thinking. The brain changes leading to her condition likely began 20 years ago when prevention was still possible. What exactly happens with dementia? Think of your brain as an incredibly complex network of billions of cells connected by trillions of pathways. These connections allow you to remember, think, feel, and function. Dementia occurs when these pathways become damaged or blocked by protein deposits, causing cells to lose their ability to communicate and eventually die. While some memory changes are normal with age, dementia is not the inevitable price of growing older. After Elizabeth's diagnosis, I became determined to protect my own brain. I discovered that cognitive health isn't mysterious or left to chance. It's heavily influenced by daily habits that either build brain resilience or accelerate decline. The power of social connections stunned me. People with strong social ties have a remarkable 40% lower risk of cognitive decline. Elizabeth had become increasingly isolated after retirement, something we now recognize as a significant risk factor. I joined a weekly book club and prioritized regular, meaningful conversations with friends and family, not just for enjoyment, but as critical brain protection. Mental challenge builds cognitive resilience. Learning new skills, solving problems, and embracing novelty creates what neurologists call cognitive reserve, extra neural pathways that provide backup systems when age-related changes occur. I've taken up piano lessons at 57, not because I'll become a concert pianist, but because the challenge strengthens my brain's architecture. Physical movement may be the most underrated brain protector. A daily 30-minute walk increases blood flow to your brain by 15%, delivering oxygen and nutrients while clearing harmful waste products. My husband and I now walk every evening, protecting our hearts, controlling blood sugar, and building stronger brains with each step. What you eat literally becomes your brain tissue. Foods rich in omega-3 fats, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds actively protect neural connections. Simple switches like adding blueberries to breakfast, including fatty fish twice weekly, and cooking with olive oil provide powerful brain protection. Remember, your brain's trajectory isn't set in stone. Every day, you're either building resilience against dementia or accelerating its arrival. Which will you choose today? Your blueprint for a vibrant future. Have you noticed the striking pattern across all 4 conditions we've discussed? The same fundamental habits protect against diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and dementia simultaneously. This isn't coincidence. It's compelling evidence of how deeply interconnected our body systems truly are. When you take that morning walk, you're not just strengthening your heart, you're stabilizing blood sugar, reducing cancer risk, and building new neural pathways all at once. 5 years ago, my 93-year-old neighbor Eleanor shared her secret to longevity while tending her garden. "Everyone thinks I'm lucky to have good genes," she laughed, pulling weeds with surprising strength. "What they don't see are the thousands of small choices I've made every day for decades." Eleanor has no significant health conditions, despite coming from a family plagued by early heart disease and diabetes. Her doctors frequently ask what medications she takes. Her answer always surprises them: none. The statistics are clear. People who avoid these 4 conditions don't just live longer, they live better. A recent population analysis showed that individuals who reach 90 without these diseases spend 86% less time in hospitals during their final decade and maintain independence 3 times longer than those with even one of these conditions. Even more striking, 78% report high life satisfaction compared to just 32% of those managing chronic disease. What's truly remarkable about Eleanor's approach is its simplicity. She never followed extreme diets or punishing exercise regimens. She simply understood that consistency trumps perfection. "I don't avoid all desserts. I avoid daily desserts." She often says, "I don't run marathons, I walk daily." Small steps taken consistently create the path to a different future. The path to reaching 90 in vibrant health isn't about fighting aging, but aging intelligently. It's not about deprivation, but strategic abundance, filling your life with nutrient-rich foods, meaningful movement, restorative sleep, and genuine connection. These aren't just health habits, they're expressions of profound self-respect and love for life itself. Start with just one small change today. Perhaps a 10-minute walk after dinner or adding an extra vegetable to your meals. These seemingly insignificant choices accumulate into your health destiny over time. Remember Eleanor tending her garden at 93. This could be your future too. Every morning when I wake up, I think about what my 90-year-old self would thank me for doing today. This simple practice helps me prioritize what truly matters for long-term health. What one small step will you take today? Your future self is waiting, hoping you'll make the choice that creates ripples of health for decades to come. Drop your commitment in the comments below and subscribe for more evidence-based strategies to add not just years to your life, but vibrant life to your years.